Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is Oha Cade. I'm the composer for the symphonic metal project Valcata, and today we are reacting to the Underworld Saga from Epic the Musical. If you missed my reactions to the rest of Act 1, be sure to check out my Epic Reactions playlist, link is in the description. And if you'd like early access to the Thunder Saga and the Wisdom Saga, join me on Patreon, link is down below for that too. Let's move right into the first song of the Underworld Saga, which is The Underworld. Alright, let's go. Nice long, almost 5-minute song we have here, which is good considering there are only 3 songs in this saga.
Friends, Cersei's instructions were clear. No matter what we hear, full speed ahead until we find the prophet. My comrades, this land confuses your mind. So no matter who we find, full speed ahead until we find the prophet. Good.
Spooky choir.
All I hear are screams. Every time I dare to close my eyes, I no longer dream. Only nightmares of those who've died.
The melodic writing is amazing.
And here in the underworld, the past seems close behind. This land confuses your mind. When does a man become a monster?
A reprise of
558 men
the Troy Saga.
died under your command. Captain, 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 why would you let the Cyclops live when ruthlessness is mercy? All I hear are screams. Every time I dare to close my eyes, I no longer dream. Only nightmares of those who died. Nothing's what it seems. Nothing's what it seems. But in the underworld, the past seems close behind. I keep thinking of the infant from that night. I keep thinking of the infant from that night.
This life is amazing.
Okay. Lots of turmoil in this one, and we have the voice of, what was his name? Polites. Yeah, we have the voice of Polites coming back here. The guilt is really ravaging Odysseus for this one. And that pain, the trauma, the turmoil, the guilt is communicated extremely well through the music with this minor key, the dark tone of the song. Beautifully illustrated too in the animatic, also I have to add. Maybe one of the more impressive animatics I've seen yet. But as dark as the song is, it's not lacking that unique catchiness in Jorge's writing in the chorus.
All I hear are screams. Every time I dare to close my eyes.
I love those large intervals between notes. Dare to close my eyes. That dip creates such a pretty effect. Large intervals between notes in the melody is a really good way of grabbing attention. Because if the melody is always floating in the same range with no dips in, it gets a bit monotonous. But as soon as you dip, it just creates a bit of a, ooh, where's the melody going? I didn't expect it to go there. And that's why I love Jorge's vocal writing, is that you never really know where the lead line is going to go. And it always ends up somewhere very satisfying and very pretty. Even if the song is on the darker side, or as harrowing as this one. Could be the darkest song in the musical yet. Let's keep it going.
I keep thinking of the infant from that night.
This life is amazing when you greet with open arms. Whatever we face, we'll be fine if we're leading from the heart. No matter the place, or we can light up the world. Here's how to start. Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms.
Beautifully illustrated in this animatic.
voice. It can't be. Mom?
Waiting. Odysseus, when you come home, I'll be waiting. Even if you're the last thing I see, I'll be
I'm
waiting.
right here, Mom. Can't you see? I'm waiting.
This is so
I
sad.
took too long
I'll always love you.
and ventured too
I'll stay
far while you were
waiting, waiting.
Bye, Mom. All I hear are screams.
That was so sad. Bit of a detour from the plot, I think, but still really touching. And just a nice little segment, I guess. I'm interested to see if that part is relevant to the plot, but even if it's not, I just like that thought that he would run into his mom in the underworld and have a really pretty harmonic duet with her.
All I hear are screams. Every time I dare to close my eyes, I no longer dream. Only nightmares of those who've died. Nothing's what it seems. But in the underworld, your past is always close behind. Your past is always close behind. Down in the underworld.
Great song. And even though we didn't get any rapping in this song, I do hear a slight hip-hop influence in the beat in certain parts.
Nothing's what it seems. Nothing's what it seems. And here in the underworld,
It's got that, you know?
this land confuses your mind.
Very cool, very cool. I really liked this song, The Underworld Saga, definitely off to a good start. I don't see how we can go wrong with only 2 songs to go. I also love how Polites reappeared almost as a reassuring presence to just reiterate that Odysseus is not going down the wrong path, that he really should continue living life with open arms. And Polites doesn't hold anything against him the way the dead soldiers do, which is really an indication that he's on the right path. Let's see how No Longer You sounds.
I am the prophet with the answers you seek. Time, I've unlocked it. I see past and future running free. There is a world where I help you get home, but that's not a world I know. What?
Immediately love the sound of this song. I'm gonna let it play for a little bit before I comment too much. This vocalist for this character sounds a lot like Odysseus though. It could be Jorge voicing him. Let's see.
I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. I see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you try your final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you. This can't be. We've suffered and sailed through the toughest of hells. Now you tell us our efforts for nothing. I see your.
I love the way this song moves. It's quite symphonic and dramatic and free-flowing. We're not locked into a steady beat just yet. And the emotion conveyed in these vocals pairs so well with what is being revealed to Odysseus. It's like a mirrored impact.
I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you.
It's no longer you. How do you feel about that, huh? There's just a lot of emphasis on that reveal, you know what I'm saying? Love that.
I see your palace covered in red faces.
It is a little unfortunate how the auto-tune is so heavily apparent in some moments. Kind of takes you out of it a little bit. Like this part right here.
Covered in red.
You know, that weird sound is a result of the vocals being overly processed. And you guys did tell me that some of the earlier songs had some pretty nasty auto-tune because they were recorded by a different production studio. But these later songs really have no excuse. So I gotta point out that sort of stuff when I hear it, because everything else is so beautifully produced with attention to detail. I'm surprised they wouldn't have smoothed out something like that, because this particular vocalist, whether it's Jorge or someone else, he sounds very skilled. Like he doesn't really need that amount of tuning. But it's possible that there were time constraints, one thing led to another. It happens, but it just irks me a bit when everything else is so perfect.
Your palace covered in red faces of men who had long believed you're dead. I see your wife with a man who is haunting, a man with a trail of bodies. Ooh! I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. I see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you try your final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you.
Epic. Wow. So I'm just going to put this out there. This might be my favorite song in the musical so far. I've said that a few times, and every time I've meant it, but I think this song might top all of the previous ones for me. I just love how it builds. I love the vocalist. I think I have come to the conclusion that this singer is not Jorge, right? Because he seems to be a little bit more technically proficient. Let me just look this up to confirm. Yeah. The vocalist is Mason Olszewski. Very similar tone and style to Jorge. But I can tell by his level of control and power, especially in the higher belted notes, that he is a little bit more well trained.
I see you try your final breath.
That high note, try. There's a healthy bit of vibrato in that note, whereas when Jorge sings very high belted notes at the top of his range, it's a little bit more strained and thin. Still quite emotional and appealing, but even if their voices are tonally similar, it's those small details in the technique that allowed me to tell them apart. And this final build was just everything, and it was so well illustrated in the animatic.
I see you try your final breath.
The choir.
I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you.
You know what this reminds me of? It's the Long Live the King moment in The Lion King. Trying to not give away any spoilers. I'm sure most of you guys know what I'm talking about, but there's an obvious inspiration here. I would say both in the music as well as in the visuals. Everyone was leaning into that a little bit. Really awesome. The brass. If I had to guess this character's instrument, Tiresias, probably the choir, if that counts as an instrument. The choir was very prominent in this song. Loved that one. Loved the vocal performance, the build, the animatic, everything hit. My favorite song in the musical, definitely. Going to be streaming that one a lot. Okay, we're going to move on to the final song now of the Underworld Saga and of Act 1. I have high expectations for this, I'm not going to lie. This is Monster. Okay. When does a man become a monster, am I right?
How has everything been turned against us? How did suffering become so endless? How am I to reunite with my estranged? Do I need to change? I'm surrounded by the souls of those I've lost. I'm the only one whose line I haven't crossed. What if the greatest threat we'll find across the sea is me? What if I'm the monster? What if I'm in the wrong? What if I'm the problem that's been hiding all along? What if I'm the one who killed you every time I cave to guilt? What if I've been far too kind to foes, but a monster to ourselves? What if I'm the monster? Is the Cyclops struck with guilt when he kills? Is he up in the middle of the night? Or does he end my men to avenge his friend and then sleep knowing he has done right? When the witch turns men to pigs to protect her nymphs, is she going insane? Or did she learn to be colder when she got older and now she saves them the pain? When a god comes down and makes a fleet drown, is he scared that he's doing something wrong? Or does he keep us in check so we must respect him and now no one dares to piss him off? Does a soldier use a wooden horse to kill sleeping Trojans cause he is vile? Or does he throw away his remorse and save more lives with guile? If I became the monster and threw that guilt away, would that make us stronger? Would it keep our foes at bay? If I became the monster to everyone but us and made sure we got home again, who would care if we're unjust? If I became the ruthlessness.
Okay, we're in for an epic build here again, I see. This song is super pretty. I like that the chorus is really focused more in Odysseus's lower range. It's a bit of a softer, more pensive delivery going on. Lovely melody, lots of interesting thoughts and musings going on again about guilt. This is really the saga about inner turmoil. And it's a valid question that we have to ask ourselves sometimes, isn't it? Are we the problem? I'm a big advocate for self-awareness and taking accountability, right? And not putting everything on the faults of others. Even though what I'm gathering is that the main sentiment of the musical is that he really does need to stick to his guns and stick to his path. And that, I think, really is the more important message if you're going to choose between the two. But it's done so well here where it's like, in this particular situation, which really is the right way? It's hard to know sometimes. And that's what this song is all about. And that's the power of stories and music, is how they can explore real life emotions, real life dilemmas in metaphorical ways, in fantastical ways. So you can just enjoy this musical for the story on the surface if you like, but if you want to dig deeper and find some answers, even for your own life, and take inspiration there, you can do that also. That's one of the superpowers of music.
If I became the ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves.
Little motifs coming back here from various songs.
I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, my mom, 500 men gone. This can't go on, I must get to see Penelope and Telemachus. So if we must sail through dangerous oceans and beaches, I'll go where Poseidon won't reach us. And if I gotta drop another infant from a wall in an instant so we all don't die, then I'll become the monster. I will deal the blow, and I'll become the monster like none they've ever known. So what if I'm the monster lurking deep below? I must become the monster, and then we'll make it home.
Wow, the vocals. know that melody.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Or become the monster.
Uh-oh. Odysseus is
I
taking
became the monster.
the dark path. The path that Polites encouraged him not to go down. But the prophecy from Tiresias was far too upsetting. Now he's crashing out, and it's the perfect recipe for more excellent drama. This was definitely one of my favorite sagas in the musical. I really found the Circe saga and the Underworld saga to be very strong. And the Troy saga is up there for me too. I think my least favorite is probably the Cyclops saga. And the way things are going, it just seems to keep getting better and better, as a musical should. A musical really should escalate and keep ramping up, articulating, celebrating, escalating. If you know, you know. So by the time you see this, I will have posted my reactions to the Thunder Saga and the Wisdom Saga on Patreon. The link is down below for early access. Let me know your thoughts on the Underworld Saga and of my analysis. My name is Ohak Cade. I'm the composer for the symphonic metal project Valkada. Do check out our music in the description as well. And be sure to check out my epic reactions playlist of all the previous sagas in the description. And you can also find a link to my full reaction database spreadsheet if you're curious about all of the other music I've covered on the channel. Other than that, please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Thanks so much and take care.